Hey guys, I was planning to bring you something really exciting, really special this weekend, but that kind of fell through, and hopefully we'll do it at a later time. But instead, I think this will be amusing and entertaining. I've been doing this segment called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly after some of my newer videos, and it's basically good comments, bad comments, and ugly comments, and I'll comment on them. But it's a fun way to kind of see how people are engaging with the channel. So in this special weekend edition of it, I'm going to pick 3 good comments, 3 bad comments, and 3 ugly comments, and then comment on them. Hopefully you guys find this as entertaining as I did. Okay, so we're going to start with the good comments. Good comment number 1 comes from Summer Fields. This was on the Dolph Lundgren and how he built his Ivan Drago body for Rocky 4 video. He said, yes, bring back the 80s and 90s martial arts, but don't forget about Bruce Lee. They just don't make them like they used to. Oh, so if anyone isn't aware on this channel, I've kind of created this phrase that we're going to make the 80s and 90s great again because that's the focus of this channel. But as far as Bruce Lee goes, I do want to cover him on the channel. I actually got this box set Criterion Collection Blu-ray of his greatest hits. I got this for Christmas. So I'm going to catch myself up to speed again with Bruce Lee, rewatch all these movies, go over all the bonus content. I'll be able to come up with some good material myself, and at the very minimum, just break down all these movies. But we're definitely going to be doing more Bruce Lee on this channel, so don't worry about that. Alright, so the good comment number 2 comes from Thomas Henderson. This was on the video I did called The Top 5 Martial Arts Movie Stars of the 1990s Who Weren't Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal. This is in reference to the Jeff Speakman segment and about why Jeff Speakman never blew up in Hollywood. But Thomas said, bad luck or maybe a blessing in disguise for Jeff Speakman. Speed is a great success. Jeff Speakman could have been in Speed. But he gets into situations a Hollywood lifestyle gets one into. Look at what success did to Van Damme and Seagal. Jean nor Steve look as healthy as they did in those days, while Jeff is probably a grandmaster and is definitely in better shape than Seagal and Van Damme. Jeff was sent to Master Ed Parker to carry the name of Kenpo martial arts to new heights. Way to go, Jeff. So maybe it all worked out well for Jeff. As much as Jeff Speakman, I'm sure, would have wanted to be like a huge Hollywood name, I think it worked out. He's carried on the torch with Kenpo and has his own Kenpo 5.0 system, so I think it probably ended up working out well in the end. I mean, that Hollywood lifestyle could get people in trouble. Either way, he's successful. Maybe not necessarily in the movies, but definitely in the world of martial arts. Alright, so good comment number 3 comes from the video that I did, The Hot Daughters of Action Movie Stars Part 1. It says 5-part series. I only did Part 1 so far, and it's Steven Seagal's daughter. T-Virus Terrance says, thanks for the video. I didn't know Steven Seagal has a daughter. Love watching your videos because of your passion and the knowledge you have. Terrance out. By the way, Terrance has his own YouTube channel, and he's got pretty damn funny commentary, so I'll link it in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. Watch a couple of his videos, and you're probably going to end up subscribing. Alright, now for the fun. Bad comment number 1 was from the video I did called, Did Steven Seagal really get choked out by Judo Gene LaBelle, or was it all a lie? So Peter117B says, hey Viking warrior or whatever you want to call yourself, it's easy to put others down, isn't it? Why not just challenge Steven Seagal yourself and see? Not a chance, you YouTube pussy. I replied to his comment, I said, it's Viking Samurai and you clearly didn't watch the video as I presented enough evidence that this incident is false. Also, I'm far from a YouTube pussy. I'm a lifelong martial artist myself and treat my subject matter with a great deal of respect. Alright, so that's what I said in the comment, but I feel like I gotta further address that and go on a mini rant here. So, a couple of things. I love people commenting on the videos, but if somebody's gonna make those kind of allegations and come to those kind of assumptions, maybe they should watch the whole video, or if they did comment, maybe they should continue watching the video and then realize that they were wrong and then edit their comment or make another comment. I mean, just the fact that he would interpret that I'm basically talking shit about Steven and I should challenge him to a fight, it's absurd. Like, if anything, somebody would probably complain that I'm a Steven Seagal sympathizer. But at the end of the day, if the story's true, and I thought it was true based on the evidence, even though I like Steven Seagal, that's what I would say. But based on all the evidence, I don't think that story's true. But the fact that he just makes the assumption and thinks, okay, let me spread this false story that so many other people have done, like Joe Rogan and Ronda Rousey, I'm trying to, like, look at different sides, and no, I'm not buying that story. The story just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. As mentioned, Seagal was already an established star during Out for Justice. So it's just kind of ironic that he's basically saying, I'm like the guy saying this story is true, which I'm probably the only guy on YouTube saying, no, there's a lot of evidence that says it's not true. But the pussy comment's what really annoys me, and that's for a few different reasons. For one, I'm pretty damn respectful on this channel. For example, I talked about Scott Adkins in Hard Target 2, and I talked about Michael J. White in Welcome to Sudden Death. And I said I think those movies are crap because, in my honest opinion, I think those movies are crap. But I also said nice things about Michael J. White, and I said nice things about Scott Adkins. Hard Target 2 is not his fault.
You see this? It's not your fault. I know.
I really wish they were involved in better projects because, in my opinion, they're wasting their time, they're wasting their talent with those two movies. And number two, I don't talk shit on this channel. That's just not what I do. That's not my style. And if I did, I would back it up. I would die on that so-called hill. I'm not a coward. I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'm not a YouTube pussy. So three, I basically spent my entire life training. Martial arts, working out, it's just a passion. I don't get in trouble. I don't start trouble. But at the end of the day, if trouble found me, I can take care of myself. So that's not something that some YouTube pussy is going to be able to do. Everything this guy's saying, everything he's portraying, everything he's perceiving, complete opposite of what I am, which is really annoying. Alright, so the bad comment number 2 comes from the How Strong Was Sylvester Stallone video I did. Jack Wood said, I don't really care. Okay, your point? So there's like thousands of YouTube videos that come through my feed, and I don't really care about the topic, so I don't click on them. So the fact that this guy would write this comment on my video, I'm just picturing him basically spending his entire day on other YouTube videos with topics he's not interested in, commenting, I don't really care. I don't really care. And then this next one, I don't really care. Well, you know what? Find something more productive to do with your time, because at the end of the day, that's the most valuable commodity any of us have. And with that said, I've already spent too much of mine on this freaking comment. Alright, so bad comment number 3. This was from the Who Were All the Fighters in the Quest, that Van Damme movie, and Sean McDuff said, Van Damme is a ballet dancer. Any real fighter can kick the shit out of that loser. Alright, so let's just address a few things. Van Damme has trained in ballet, but he's combined ballet with karate and bodybuilding. So that's like just saying Van Damme is only a bodybuilder, or Van Damme is only a karate guy, or Van Damme is only ballet. Just because he's trained in ballet doesn't mean that's all he does. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I believe ballet is pretty goddamn legit. Van Damme actually said it's the hardest workout he's ever done, and you gotta remember, he's done karate, he's done bodybuilding. Those aren't exactly easy workouts. So I think a lot of people need to respect ballet. I mean, I could see if you were like 8 years old, like even when I was 8, you know, I'm thinking, okay, that's not very manly. They're wearing tutus. Maybe I'd make fun of it, but you know, I'm an adult. So I think that's a little immature, and you should probably respect ballet because I think it could pretty much benefit any athlete. The flexibility, the balance, the explosiveness, pretty cool. And then as far as like any real fighter can kick the crap out of that loser, well, you got to remember, Van Damme actually did have a pretty good record back in the day, and I'm pretty sure had he dedicated his life like a different era, like in MMA, he'd be really successful at it. So, yeah, that's a bad comment, clearly from a Van Damme hater. All right, now for the ugly comments. So, ugly comment number 1. This was from my Steven Seagal called out by Charlize Theron, who says he can barely fight video. Angus Scott said, pull your tongue out of his backside already. Well, that's pretty disgusting, and no offense to you guys that like to eat ass out there, but I wouldn't do that to the hottest girl on the planet. I'm too much of a germaphobe. I think I'd end up getting E. coli or something. Alright, so coincidentally, ugly comment number 2 is actually kind of similar. This comes from the video Steven Seagal's Thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme, Michael J. White, etc. video that I did a while back. Kevin Adair said, what's with Seagal's goatee? Was he eating something sticky before he started rimming a donkey? I really don't need that visual, man. I really don't. But what's up with the obsession lately of, you know, that sort of act? I don't know. Get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Alright, ugly comment number 3. This is on the Bloodsport, greatest martial arts movie ever video that I did. Is an exchange between Christopher Flynn and myself, and I'm putting it in the ugly category because he's kind of putting out misinformation out there. So he said, Van Damme wasn't that good at all. In fact, in Bloodsport, other fighters were told to tone down their skills because it made Van Damme look like shit. Chuck Norris has also commented on Van Damme and his shit skills, saying, quote, he has zero control and bad technique. Later, that bad combination would lead to Van Damme kicking an actor in the face, blinding him for life. So I commented and said, you may not like Van Damme, but what you're saying is false. For example, he never kicked a guy in the face and blinded him. It was a prop knife. I covered that here, and I linked this video I did, which I'll link in the description below. And then he replied, "That was only one example. Ha ha ha. So you pointed out one of many I listed." And then I replied, "I can address all of these if you want, but I'm kind of busy working on the next video, so I'll just address one more. You say Chuck Norris says Van Damme has zero control and bad technique. Where's your proof of this?" And even if he did say that, that does not mean it's true. It's clearly not. As great as Chuck was as a competitive fighter, I don't think any sane, honest person would say Van Damme doesn't have better control and technique when it comes to kicking than Chuck does. And I don't doubt Chuck realizes that. So not only is it out of character for Chuck to say what you claimed he said about Van Damme, but even if he did, then he's indirectly putting himself down, which makes no sense. You can YouTube old clips of Van Damme prior to when he became big in the film industry and see how crazy and controlled his kicks are. At the end of the day, you're a Van Damme hater, and that's fine. You can hate on whoever you want, but you shouldn't spread lies and or false information about him like you did with the stuntman incident. And then he replied, he said it years ago in an interview when Black Belt magazine was still a thing. "I'm not a Van Damme hater at all. In fact, quite the opposite. However, I do realize and accept and acknowledge the fact that he pissed away his life due to drugs. And if you want to talk skills, toss him up against someone like Philip Murray from Best of the Best. There's a huge difference in skill level." And then I replied, "I have to question whether you remember the Black Belt magazine interview correctly or not, due to the fact that you didn't have the correct details on the stuntman injury. It just really seems out of character for Chuck Norris to say that." Now, he said negative things about Steven Seagal in the past, but I'm pretty sure he feels quite a bit different about Van Damme. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to comment on here, which is fine, because it, seems like it's kind of going across as like a respectful exchange, which is always nice. But the fact that he brings up Van Damme's, drug use in the past, I don't really see what that has to do with his so-called lack of control and crappy skills and techniques. So it's kind of just going to character assassination now. Like, one thing doesn't necessarily have to do with another. Obviously, a low point in Van Damme's life. I know he disappointed a lot of fans such as myself. It is what it is at the end of the day. Nobody's perfect. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks everyone for commenting. Make sure to keep commenting on the videos. Maybe we'll feature you in one of those upcoming segments at the end of a future video. But I really just like the engagement, whether the comments are good, bad, or ugly. I like the engagement in the channel, and it's fun for me to address some of these. So keep those comments coming.